Welcome to Switch It Up. This is a modification edition for CountryMod because we are putting a new AC on our daughter's RV, because the AC that when they just bought, if you saw the video that they just purchased this 2018 Thor, the AC is the older style. It is not doing well. I've been researching CountryMod. They actually reached out and I said, would you be willing to help my daughter with their new RV, and I'll do a video. So we're going to do an installation video today. I have never done anything. I'll go over a lot of the details. I've just started to unbox it, so we'll do that. And then I'll show you kind of like what's going on inside with the thermal imager, how efficient the current AC is, and then we'll do a comparison test to this. So roll the intro, we'll jump right back into this before this wasp stings me. I'm on the farm with chickens and horses.
A man and woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
All right, before we really jump into this, I think I've got the generator running, so I'll jump inside. I think it would be appropriate to show you kind of like where we're at currently. So this is a 30 FE Thor. She got this to tow her horse trailers and do rodeo stuff with. The problem comes into play is this week, sorry, it's dark in here. They have basically it's a state fair, and we're getting ready to go through a huge heat wave here in Kansas. And I said, listen, we need to figure something out or you're gonna be burning up. So last weekend they had a rodeo, and this RV, when it was 96 degrees, they ended up having to sleep with a fan and all kinds of stuff, and they just weren't comfortable. So let me share with you kind of what they have currently and what is going on, because I have a thermal imager, and then we'll go to the unboxing and then let's see if I can install this thing. Currently, they have the old Coleman Mac, you know? I mean, like many RVs do. And it's the normal dump system. You shut those and then it pushes out through the track. Now, the best part of doing what we're doing is I actually brought my thermal imaging from my adventures that we have done along our way. So I have a thermal imager, and I was able to put it up here to see what the current output is. And we're running about 52 to 53 degrees coming out. And I think this would be a good step to see if the CountryMod is going to be more efficient than this, which it is, and I'll go over those details in a little bit, and what they currently have to what hopefully this solution will be. What we've learned is she said that her son was sleeping up in the front cab, and he was coming out at 53 degrees, but by the time it ran through the tracks, it starts warming up. And you'll see in the thermal imager the track lines of where the ACs are running, right? And it starts warming up. By the time it got to the back, they were at like 60 degrees. Now, this morning, it's 75 degrees. It's not even hot yet. And can you imagine when it's 98 degrees and the roof is heating up, and then you have your air duct system running here, how much it heats the air up before it even gets to the back. So the goal is that this would be lower in temperature. We shut all the vents off in the front and pump all of the air towards the back. That is the goal. That's the hope. And that they can be a little more comfortable as they're doing their rodeos and hanging out with family and doing some camping events. Yeah, so I've never done this. So this is gonna be a learning experience for us both, but I think that's probably the best way to do things because you've probably never done it either. So let's go out and do an unboxing real quick, go over everything that comes inside the box. Then we'll come in and start ripping things apart. There's one of the horse trailers. Oh, Colton! All right, I started to do the unboxing. First thing you're gonna notice is how much skinnier this is compared to that. So we'll get a measurement on this, on the two, so you have a comparison. And let me start pulling everything out. First things first, I know that the weight on this is significantly different than the weight on the old one. It's gonna offset off of the roof line quite a bit. Looks like we have two sections here. That's the main section for the inside. Yeah, I'm gonna have to build all this, aren't I? And here's all the wiring for DC stuff, and then the other installation blocks. More tools. Look how skinny this thing is. Doesn't look like it's even gonna work.
It looks really little.
It does look so skinny. And back here, let me see if I can do this so they can see it. Nope. So here's the coils, which is pretty cool. So the coils come up from the bottom, so that's why it sits off so far. So it's gonna suck from underneath and from behind. And then these are the only wires that I'm gonna have to possibly install. Hopefully, that's all it is. And then you have 4 screws, and then we have the sealant. So that's in one of the other bags right up here. It should be fairly straightforward. Now getting the old one off is gonna be the hardest part. Then you have the alignment position. First things first, we're gonna pull out all the vents. Colton's gonna be my assistant. And he's our youngest grandson.
Yep.
Right? So I'm gonna hand him stuff until we have to get up on the roof. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Here, put this somewhere. Find a place for that. All right, we'll take this down. So far so good, just some screws.
Oh,
Yeah, look at that. But now it looks like I've got to switch to some sockets. So I got to go find some sockets to take the mounting screws out. Okay. All right, found a socket. Okay. I probably should go ahead and shut this off. It's going to get hot in here. Normally, what happens is you have a sandwich plate, that's what I call them, where you have a metal plate that it torques and brings the AC. So when you're going down the highway, it's not going anywhere. So there's really not a lot that holds it up there. We'll have to go up and cut caulking and stuff off. Can you find a place for those so we don't lose them? Because that would be really bad to lose. Take that screw out, put it in there, and then put this plate down. According to everything I've researched, these holes generally are 14 by 14 inches. So I think that's, hopefully when we put the CountryMod up there, it's gonna fit right into the same ductwork and it won't be a big deal. We gotta take these bolts off.
Okay.
Okay? Are you gonna be my collector?
Yeah.
We don't wanna lose these. Put them somewhere safe. Can you take and put that back there?
Yeah.
How heavy is it? Don't fall off the roof.
No.
Your mom would be really mad. Working with Grandpa. Oh, this just pops off, Colton.
Oh.
Hey, how about you help me? So you see over here, there's underneath. Can you see how strong you are? Can you try to pick it up? Ugh. Nope. It's pretty heavy, isn't it? All right. So these are the wires I'm pulling off, and they have different color coordinated. And then this is the electrical I'm working with. So I'm going to cut the electrical. Oh my gosh. So now what we're left with is this wonderful hole, and the new seal gasket will go in there, and then we'll hook up the wires. So we have to go get the new AC. So this is the gasket they sent, and the gasket's gonna sit 14 by 14. So we have to just clean the area. I use isopropyl alcohol because it takes care of it, it doesn't hurt anything, but then you know you have a good surface. So when you actually pull the adhesive off, has a good place to bond. So just a little side tip. I learned this back in my painting days. We have to make sure that there's nothing that touches anything, because it has to, there you go. Can you get it? Pull hard. Keep pulling. Pull hard. Pull hard. Oh boy. Okay, now we will take this and we will put it over the hole. So this is where the new AC is going to sit. So now we're going to put the new AC on here.
Right there.
Yeah, we're going to move it over and we're going to set it on here.
Set it on.
Finally, a new AC. It's very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have these mounting brackets for an alignment position.
Don't fall in that hole.
We're going to take this mounting area where it says alignment point and put it over the hole. Then we're going to go inside, see if we can find it. All right, let's see inside how we can maneuver it around. the cool part is, let me show you this real quick. The way they have done this is they have provided like these, there's little brackets. You can see the holes that come through that the screws will be going in, but there's a little nub right here. And there's a nub here and nub on this side that allows you to make sure that this is all supposed to be where it needs to be. So you really can't mess it up. You just glued the weather stripping on, and then now we're to a point where we're going to attach these mounting brackets to do the seal plate that holds it to the roof. Next up is the mounting plate. They've got this little sticker that says alignment position, so it matches the sticker on the AC itself. This is the diffuser in essence, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this first to the inside of the plate that's going to be the finished area. So all they did is include basically 8 self-tapping screws that we have to attach this. Then we'll attach something onto the other one, and then we'll be ready to be attaching everything to the ceiling. Little key component tricked me for a minute because I couldn't find it. So I attached this to here. This piece, yeah, it slides out. So if you're looking for this piece, it's probably in the middle, like stuck in there like it should be. This piece, because this is meant to slide up and down depending on how thick the roof is. So this piece needs to be attached inside of this with self-tapping screws, another 8. So if you're going to look for this and looking in the box and all over, it's in there, just so you know. All right, I'm going to attach this real quick and then we'll start anchoring things. You did, thank you.
Welcome.
Are you ready for cold air in here?
Yeah.
I am. I mean, it's good we could.
For super hot days.
Yeah.
Just come in here, it's so cold.
All right, I've pulled all the wires through here. These are old, there's old wires from the last system that we're not going to utilize because it has its own setup for a thermostat. And now I'm simply just installing the one portion here to the top. All right. So I forgot that her coach runs off the AC, or her coach runs off the generator, which then produces AC current, and that's why I had the 110 up here. And originally I wanted to at one point get lithium batteries for her, and the reason we switched to the CountryMod was because it pulls way less wattage, and you can do a lot more with it and keep everything cool. I did not plan on switching it over to DC, but thank you CountryMod, because they ended up including wires to do so. Now, I don't have another way to pull wires, so, but the convenient part is I'm going to get a case that goes over the top of it, and then I'm going to run it. I ran it alongside the door, and then the batteries are actually in the first step. So it's not a hard modification by any means, and she's going to use way less energy. And I guess we're just going to move up getting the lithium batteries sooner. So, but other than that, I'm almost done. It wasn't hard. I just drilled a few holes, tucked everything down, wired it all up. Now I'm going to put it back together. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe it's just the heat of the day. And if you're going to do this, that's something you want to make sure. You could pull off the things and see if it's already DC wired or if it's AC wired. And I just, for whatever reason, wasn't thinking. But we're just doing a little conversion ahead of time, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna be happy with it, except for the wires sitting out here. It is what it is. When you're dealing with an older coach and stuff and you're wanting to make modifications, you just have to work around things. But I didn't see that. Thank you CountryMod for including these wires. They include all the wires to hook everything up. So that's also in the box. I think I pulled it out and just was not paying attention. Hopefully that helps. I'm gonna finish putting everything, the plates back on, and then we're gonna turn it on. And just like that, snapped everything together, just plugged in the wires, and literally, I forgot to plug in a wire. It's crazy it is. Got it to work. She actually killed her batteries because it's an old deep cycle battery. So when we came here today, none of the slides would work or anything. So now that we're all hooked up, it's showing me an E4 reading, meaning that the voltage is bad on the battery, which tells me the battery's shot. I didn't realize that it tracks the voltage, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. But it's blowing cold, but I don't know if it's up to its capacity because I have to look to see which mode I'm in, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to put up all my tools and then we'll do a final test. She's going to go get a battery right now. Finally, it's the next morning. Finished all the install. I had to run and go do some stuff before we wrapped up putting the wires and securing everything. And then we put in 2 new batteries that are down below, which are great because she really needed the RV only came with 1 battery. It's a 2018. So whoever owned it before just, you know, I don't know if they just decided to get rid of the other battery. So it's back to having 2 batteries. We hope to add lithium at some point, but learn some key components here, just so you know. I couldn't find it in any videos. What happened was I was getting an E4 rating that was up here, which would be like a low voltage reading. On here itself, there's a lot of different, whatever it displays, it has telling you what it is. So E4, I reached back to CountryMod. I was like, I don't know why I have 2 brand new batteries. I'm getting an E4 rating for low voltage. Apparently when this came from the factory, it was set for lithium. So we all know that lithium is going to be in the 13.2, somewhere in that range. So the voltage was set higher. So the batteries, you know, at a 12 volt battery, they're less. And so what was happening was it wasn't keeping up. So it was triggering this to kind of go in a low profile or low mode. So it would preserve the batteries and preserve the AC. So all you got to do, there's a helpful little tip. The remote controls a lot more than what you have up here. So on here is a little lightning bolt that's down on this left-hand corner. If you click the lightning bolt, you can change the voltage. So I changed this now to 9.5. So that means when the batteries get to a certain thing, it then starts to do the preservation for the batteries. So you can set that to 10 to whatever. So just so you know, if you're getting that code after the install, that's what it's for. Now we're dealing with a 96, 95 degree day. We turned on the AC early this morning so it would start running. It's now probably 85. No, it's probably hotter than that actually. I got my wonderful little gizmo gadget. The roof is reading, the lights are reading 112. So let's just go ahead and check what I'm looking at for the roof. So right now, depending on where you're looking, it's going to be the high, you know, mid to high 80s. We're blowing out at 51 degrees. I had it down, I mean, as the air temperature keeps going out, it was blowing out low 40s earlier. So now we're blowing 51 and the ceiling temperature is 81. So it's going to get pretty hot. I asked CountryMod, I said, what's the expectation on about 100 to 100 degree day that we're going to have in Kansas City? And they said probably going to experience probably a 72 to a 75 degree reading coming out of the AC itself. So it's just something to keep in mind. But it blows. It's a lot better than you think it is. And the RV is pretty good size. The other thing is like that right now we have no sun protection up, so you're getting almost 90 some plus degrees coming in that front window. The windows themselves are reading 100 degrees over here, 98 degrees of the sun coming in. And then back in the back, you're dealing with all of the heat of the sun coming in that back area. That is just, it's so hot. So it's something to keep in mind as far as when you're looking at this. I can't be happier, actually. I think it's going to be a great add-on for them as they do more and more rodeos. So hopefully this video was helpful, somewhat informative. I'm not the expert on installations of things by any means, and it was fun to have the grandkids come and help. But just some key components, just know it's a 12 volt. Don't make the assumptions in your head. You're going to be using 12 volts. So you're going to be finding a way to run wires. If your old AC is not already wired as a 12 volt, you got to run wires to your batteries. Just know that's going to happen, and they include everything in the kit. So that's really helpful. And they were super helpful when I had my questions. And yeah, from this point forward, we'll just monitor it for a while, but thank you for checking in. Thank you for watching this little weird tutorial type testimonial experience of installing a modification for our daughter's RV. It's been 2 days of running the CountryMod. There's the CountryMod. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. We come up with a better plan. So we had it in here, and the problem is it's ductless. And with the size of their RV, nobody talks about this. I was getting great readings through here, really cold in the main portion, but they have a bunkhouse, and it was like the ductless was being obstructed from here, and they're still having a problem where like it gets too hot back in the back, where back here, because that window gets so stinking hot and it's baking. So we're hatching a new plan. I reinstalled the old AC. It's not, I'd say it's working maybe 70% from like new. It's like 6-7 years old. I think what we're gonna do is to get this room, because they like to sleep super cold, to like 50, 60 degree, 55, 60 degrees at night. We're gonna replace this. So we're moving the CountryMod back here, so then all the air can dump back here in the back, and that will solve the issue. So I don't think anyone talks about this when they're looking at these CountryMods. They're great. They use way less energy. We're gonna switch over their batteries now to down here into lithium, and then they'll still be able to run this AC back here and stuff. So it's gonna give some great alternatives, but we're making a change. And then when this AC goes out, we're gonna replace that with CountryMod. It's cold, but dumping just into this main area, going back the 32 feet back here into this room is just not, it just wasn't enough. We came in, we let it run all night, got down to 78 last night, and back here in the back bedroom when I did the thing, I think it was maybe 71, 72. This back area, there's just air movement. It's just not conducive from way up there. So that's our change. I think that is something to keep in mind when you're looking at that. Using the CountryMod, because even though it is awesome, but remember, it doesn't go into your vents, and if you're used to that, it's just better to get 2 if you're gonna replace them on some of your Class C's. Just keep that in mind. Great product. We're making an adjustment and making a move. Now that they're so easy to install, now that I've done it, we're gonna run the wires up the top, down the ladder, and then underneath to the battery bank. It'll probably only take us an hour to change out that to the CountryMod. So super happy. It's just making an adjustment. So there's an update, an honest update of using it and dealing with 100+ degree weather and 80% humidity, just so you know what to expect. Hopefully that helps. I mean, I've just seen a lot of people saying it's great, and it is, but you have to remember it's ductless. It all dumps into one area, and then you have to funnel the air back in certain rigs. So keep that in mind. Buy 2, because 2 CountryMods will use less electricity than the 1 Coleman Mac. Just saying. Just bringing that to your attention. All right, thanks. I'm out.